Hello and welcome. We're live here on Forever Sports. It's the third leg of the World Series on the Sevens circuit. We're in Perth, Australia. And up next, coming up, is going to be New Zealand against Uruguay to kick off their campaign. Of course, we saw a little bit early on, if you're a South African fan, at the death, Ronald Brown getting over the line to overcome the United States of America by 24 points to 19. So they start off on a winning note. No doubt they'll be looking to kick on after their victory in Cape Town, the Blitz box. But we're almost underway here in Perth for New Zealand against Uruguay. And Uruguay, it must be said, the surprise package, much like Spain, have a point to prove on the Sevens circuit as we take a look at the team sheets for both sides. A lot of experience for New Zealand, but of course, Uruguay looking to make a statement, not just participants, but they really want to push, which you can consider the favourites in New Zealand right to the limit. A shout out to all our fans tuned in here on the Sevens circuit on Forever Sports. We're live this weekend, of course, with the rugby journey from Sevens to 15s, whether it be URC or Sevens here in Perth. We're going to take you through that journey, and it's an absolute pleasure from myself, Roots, to do that. It's going to be kick-off shortly. Give us your score prediction. Who you think can pull this one through? It's 7 minutes aside, remember. Anything can happen. The margins of error so small. The bounce of the ball unfavourable, sometimes agonizingly so. But no doubt, action non-stop as Uruguay get us underway from right to left. And immediately from the kick-off, Uruguay score! Well, look at that! Ignacio Rodriguez, you beauty! He's done it! The All Blacks caught napping there. Tried to tap the ball back, but getting himself in between the receiver of that ball from the tap back was Ignacio Rodriguez, and Uruguay kick it off for the South American representation here in Perth. The conversion had a little bit of a curl on it, and it's over from this left-hand corner. Would you believe it? What a start for Uruguay. And remember, the team who scores the try will take the kick off, and immediately they get the ball back. It's all Uruguay for the moment. New Zealand looking to disrupt, but still in possession in New Zealand's half now. Uruguay via Teffenberry just couldn't hold on to it there. New Zealand doing just enough to disrupt that. It was Ormond, the defender for New Zealand, Lewis Ormond. But the restarts have been pinpoint accurate for Uruguay up to this point. And deservedly lead by 7-0. This will be New Zealand's first opportunity to attack now, with a little over 5 minutes to go in the first half. Last season, New Zealand had a rather forgetful tournament, placing 9th, but they're away now from first phase ball, just like that. McGarvey Black has the jet shoes, and he's away and over for the try. New Zealand strike back, scooped up from the base of that scrum. An unforced error causing the knock-on and resulting scrum for New Zealand, and McGarvey Black into the gap, over the white line for the try. New Zealand could draw level with the conversion. From this right-hand touchline, it's going to go wide. So Uruguay do hold a slender 2-point lead over New Zealand, but McGarvey Black rallying his troops, saying, let's get going. perhaps started a bit lethargically. It must be said, and now an unforced error from the kick-off. New Zealand concede to Uruguay. They get possession back on halfway. It's a free kick according to the referee. In possession now, Uruguay make their way up to New Zealand's 10-metre mark. They shift it down this left-hand touchline. Can they find space? Alfonso Vidal goes to ground. New Zealand try to spoil it. The referee blows a penalty. Uruguay are away. This time in the form of Rodriguez, the try scorer, but it's turned over. Can they transition here from defence to attack New Zealand? They're still just outside their own 22. Wonderful turnover there from Diego Adao, who finds his support. Can Uruguay finish? They're 3 metres out. No advantage. It's knocked on. Alfonso turns her off. Trying to pick and go from the base, a little bit over eager. And that costing Uruguay potentially their second try, but a wonderful pickup from Diego Adao. First man in legally over the ball. They just couldn't finish. Those moments of accuracy, so important, especially in the red-hot danger zone here of New Zealand, as they look to break away, but it's hacked forward. Who's got the pace? Uruguay via Dante Soto. Has he got the dancing feet? Gets away from one defender. He'll have to try and have support here as he's brought to ground. Uruguay in possession. 2 minutes to play. Diego Adao looking for support. It's knocked on. New Zealand playing the advantage, riding the crest of the advantage wave here. Almost up to the Uruguayan 22. Knocked on there. But now it's turned over. It's thrown loosely and picked up by Jean Tuffenberry. Can they get away here, Uruguay? Yes, they can. Rodriguez, will go in for his second try. New Zealand had the advantage. The referee called advantage over. They were deep inside Uruguay's territory, almost up to the 22, but a loose pass. And Diego Adao, ever present, finding Ignacio Rodriguez with a little step and beating his man on the outside on this left-hand touchline to score Uruguay's second try. The conversion right through the middle, sailing it over. Uruguay on fire here in Perth with a little over a minute to play. They're in the lead by 14 points to 5. This time around, an unforced error from the restart. Tuffenberry, the judge by the referee there, to have infringed from the restart. So New Zealand will have one final opportunity before half-time. But what a half it's been if you're a Uruguayan or South American fan. Andreas says, go Uruguay. Yes, shout out, Andreas. They have to defend for all they're worth here to hold on to it, but New Zealand shifted wide, and that will be their response in this left-hand corner. Kodameruvai for New Zealand has too much wheels and gas to burn to score in this left-hand corner. The conversion will be tricky. New Zealand up to double figures. Uruguay score, New Zealand respond. Uruguay score, New Zealand respond. This time around, the conversion is successful, and that is half-time. Back to a 2-point lead. There's an ebb and flow to this game. It's full of action. But Uruguay, not surprisingly, in the lead, judging from their performance in that first half. But New Zealand keep fighting back, folks. We're in for all action in that second half. 7 minutes to decide the winner. It's so tight at the moment. Wonderful conditions in Perth. In case you missed it, South Africa, the Blitz box, victorious in their first outing over the United States of America. Of course, they still have Australia to play, as well as Argentina. That will be live here on Forever Sports. As well as we can look forward to some 15-man action tomorrow in the Vodacom URC. The Juk Skate Derby will be live here on Forever Sports. It's the Lions up against the Bulls. And I'll be taking you through that one. That's tomorrow afternoon at 2:45 South African Standard Time. But for the moment, our eyes are fixated on the developments here in Perth. And it's Uruguay who will receive the kickoff as we're almost underway here in the second half. They hold on to a slender 2-point lead, but deservedly so, one feels. New Zealand will be looking for a better showing than last season in Perth, finishing 9th last season. There's a South African. We're looking out for the Blitz box to double up from their victory in leg number 2 in Cape Town when they were victorious with gold. But a whole lot of action to get through before we get to the final dance as New Zealand restart. Uruguay managed to get possession back. We're underway here in the second half. Uruguay working their way up to their own 10-meter mark on this left-hand touchline. The defensive shape of New Zealand holding out, but an infringement. Offside, says the referee. We got a penalty to Uruguay. You don't often see them kick to touch, but especially if you're stuck inside your own half, you want to gain some territorial meters. And in this occasion, Uruguay have opted for the kick into touch. Ryan Sims, shout out, brother. Go All Black Sevens. We got some Uruguay and some All Black fans here on Forever Sport. Where are you guys tuned in from? We have no doubt who you're supporting. It's Uruguay who are up to New Zealand 10-meter mark. They won a scrappy line out, but nonetheless, on that occasion, the pass going forward as adjudged by the referee. So it will be a New Zealand scrum. Or in fact, it was knocked on right through the bread basket. The pass was good. On that occasion, it was Diego Adal who just couldn't hold on to the pass. Basic error. New Zealand on halfway with the scrum. McGarvey Black. This time it's knocked on. Ignacio Faciolo looking to break away. Can't hold on to it. A comedy of errors at the moment in terms of handling here from both sides. But nonetheless, Uruguay playing under advantage. Defence on that occasion, strong from Uruguay on Regan Ware. Just lost it forward. Uruguay will start just off centre field, just inside their own half with the scrum here. Can they make something of it? One feels there's fine margins in this one as they break away now. Up and over into New Zealand's half. Regan Ware on that occasion, with some tough stuff defence, but still recycled from Uruguay. Looking to hold on to possession, they do so. Up and over New Zealand's 10-meter mark. Can they make some meters? Right up against this left-hand touchline. Left to right we go. Who's going to straighten the line here for Uruguay? Bit of a loose pass, but it's picked up there from Faziolo. And this time, New Zealand in over the ball. Legally so, says the referee. This game is on a knife edge. 4 minutes to play. One feels Uruguay playing from left to right, working their way towards the New Zealand 22. Shouldn't have skipped past there. Accuracy in passing, accuracy in handling, accuracy in set pieces, so crucial. Fine lines can determine the outcome. If you're attacking, you can be defending in an instant. You've got to keep the unforced errors at a bare minimum. As New Zealand look to find territory with a kick into touch, they're still stuck between their own 22 and 10-metre mark on this right-hand touchline. But importantly, in possession, the Big Apple TV Kenny Kane, 23, shout out. It's all action here in Perth. New Zealand in possession. The throw, certainly not straight. Surely now, Mr. Referee. It is going to be a Uruguayan scrum. You'd expect better there from New Zealand, but on the outside shoulder, he's going to be blown up. The referee rightfully so awarding a scrum to Uruguay. We just inside the New Zealand 10-metre mark, 15 metres in from this right-hand touchline. And in possession, Uruguay. One feels a try now could really lift their spirits and give them a real opportunity to get one over the All Blacks here in this clash. Uruguay work their way into the 22 from the base. Sean Tafanaberry. Advantage New Zealand offside, or in fact not rolling away, infringing at ruck time, and Uruguay. It's decision time. Tafanaberry has called for the scrum. Ball in hand. They look confident. We're 15 metres in from this left-hand touchline, just inside the New Zealand 22. The All Blacks, albeit only conceded 3 penalties, is 3 times as much as Uruguay at the moment, who only conceded 1 penalty, so discipline on point for Uruguay. Held a slender 2-point lead as they look to break away. Tafanaberry finds his attacking support. They shifted wide. The pass is loose. And the resulting ball goes into touch. Valentin Vargas can't keep it in. The New Zealand still trail a little over a minute and a half to play. One feels a try from either side will be the killer blow. New Zealand, though, deep inside their own 22. We know they can break out and score from anywhere with the likes of Mugabe Black and company. As we see the introduction off the bench of Sofai Maka for New Zealand, fresh legs. They need someone to take it straight to the line here as they put the ball in at the line out. Still stuck 5 metres from their own try line. They look to play from deep. New Zealand now. Uruguay defending for all they're worth. In over the ball. Who is it? It's that man, Diego Adao. Or in fact, Alfonso Vidal. I beg your pardon. Legally over the ball. And New Zealand concede another penalty. Uruguay on the cusp of glory in their first pool game here in Perth. They lead by 14-12, but a crucial turnover, and the man who's just come on the field, Maka, took it into contact. And the support to secure that ruck not there in time for New Zealand. Uruguay have to ride out 20 seconds here. Centre field options left and right. It's a penalty. New Zealand over eager. They know they have to get the ball back. But that could be that, with 5 seconds to go. Uruguay are going to be victorious over New Zealand. They're taking a shot at goal to rub salt in the wounds. And from that distance and that trajectory, the compass is on target. Mission accomplished for Uruguay. They are victorious by 17-12 over New Zealand. Discipline an issue, but that's all said and done. It's Uruguay, the South Americans, who are victorious by 17-12. What a pleasure to take you through that one. Stay tuned for Fiji and Kenya. I'll see you on the other side.